Sherry, this is your grandma. I wonder if you're getting this message from me.
Huh? Grandma? You have a phone number too?
Yes, that's right. Your dad was able to get me a new phone and gave me your number for me. All the other people my age in the neighborhood said they've started texting their grandkids, and I wanted to do the same.
That's amazing, Grandma!
This way I'll be able to talk with you a lot more. But this smartphone is really amazing, and more people my age are starting to use them finally. I've started to even talk more with some of my other friends now too. I was really late to this party, wasn't I?
Everyone in my school all have smartphones and are texting each other all the time. But recently we've all started to use other apps to message as well.
Oh, is that so? I've heard of something called Instagram.
What? You know about Instagram now too?
I've started to use it on my computer, but I hear you can go on there now on your smartphone too. I think this gadget is just wonderful for people like me that love to stay updated all day.
I wish you would have gotten your phone a lot sooner.
I do too. Before, I thought about getting one would be too much of a hassle for me, but now that I'm into it, I'm really loving my new phone. All of these little stickers are really cute as well.
You're talking about emojis? They're all really cool and funny.
Well, I'll start using them more from now on, once I've gotten used to the phone itself.
I can't wait!
Well, you can teach me sometime how to use them correctly. That's right. I've already heard this from your dad, but is he out of the house on a business trip?
Yes, he is. It's been quiet here now. He told me that he'll be away until the end of the month for work.
That's what it looks like to me. Well, your dad says that he's lonely without you around too.
Well, then he should hurry up and come back home.
That's right.
Can you wait 1 minute, Grandma? Ive!
Huh? What was that?
I'm sorry. Avery took my phone from me for a second there and started to type on it without knowing what to say.
I see. Well, Avery is still not carrying a phone herself, right?
She has a toy one, I guess, but she can only use it for emergencies to call Mom or Dad. It's not a smartphone like ours are.
I'm sure she really wants to use her older sister phone a lot now, right?
Well, I only just got my phone last year after I finished 5th grade in elementary school. Avery still has to wait another 4 years before she can get her phone.
Well, to her, 4 years is a very long time, I think. By the time she gets into her 5th year at school, you'll be in high school, right?
What? In high school? That's right. I only have to be in middle school for 3 years, so I will be in high school by then.
I wonder what you'll be like when you get to high school, Cherry. I can't wait for that time.
I want to become even more cute than I already am. I want to become a singer in the future, so I have to be cute all the time.
Wow. That's a really good dream to have, Sherry. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm sorry, Sherry. I've been talking a long time with you this time.
It's okay, Grandma. It's Saturday now, and all I'm doing is babysitting Avery at the house.
That's so mature of you.
Also, during my birthday this year, Dad will be on a business trip again and won't be home to see me.
Next week is going to be your birthday, right? That's too bad.
It really is.
Well, is your mom home right now?
Mom is... She went out shopping?
Is that so? All right then. Well, good luck babysitting Avery for the day while your mom is out of the house.
Thank you.
The next time I talk with you, I want to try video calling one another, okay? Then I can talk with Avery as well on the phone and see the both of you together. See you again, Sherry. Hello, Tia. This is Clayton's mother, Greta. I hope these texts are getting to you.
Huh? Is this you, Greta? Did you end up finally getting yourself a smartphone?
Yes, that's right. I only just got it yesterday, though. Do you have a little time to talk with me right now?
Sure. Is there something that happened with you?
Well, this is about Sherry and Avery, actually. Right now, my son is on a business trip, correct? Well, since he's gone for a little while, I was wondering if I'd be able to take the both of them on a small trip with me somewhere.
What? Does my husband being out of the house for business have anything to do with that?
Well, yesterday when talking with Sherry, she said she has a lot of free time on her days off from school. And you know that next week there is that holiday coming up, right? Also, there is Sherry's birthday coming up as well. So myself and my husband would really like to take the two of them with us to someplace fun, where they can take a break and play around.
Ah, is that what you're talking about? Because I'm going to have to say no thank you. There are plans for us to go out of the house for a bit on that holiday.
Oh, is that so? Well, if you're all going out, I'm sure Sherry will be happy.
I'm sorry that her and her free time made you want to try and use your time to entertain her. But you really do not have to worry about those two, since I'm always around to look after them and entertain.
That's not what I meant by that. What I said had nothing to do with me questioning whether you're looking after them or not. I just thought that since they'll have some time off coming up, my husband and I would really like to see them then.
I can see that.
Well, at the very least, if around Sherry's birthday, my husband and I could come over for a chance to see her. We can even wait for a time when my son is back in town, all right? I'd be really happy to see everyone's faces again.
Understood. Let me talk with Clayton about that then. Greta, can I mention one thing to you?
Sure, go right ahead.
I had a look at the messages you were sending to Sherry yesterday. Can you please stop talking to her for such a long period of time like that? That girl has been on her phone a whole lot recently, and I've warned her so many times now to stop looking at it all the time.
I'm so sorry about that, Tia. I only just got my smartphone, and I was really looking forward to texting my granddaughter. Next time I'll make sure to only spend a couple of minutes texting her.
That would be great. Thank you. There are a lot of kids her age these days that are totally addicted to their phones. I want to make sure she's not getting herself into any trouble.
Yes, I'm aware of that. Well then, I look forward to hearing from you about plans for Cherry's birthday. And of course, if we'll be taking her out somewhere for her birthday, we'd love to take Avery as well.
All right, sounds great. I'll get in touch with my husband about it then. And then I'll have him tell you what's going on then. Grandma, are you awake right now?
What? Cherry? What are you doing awake so late in the night?
Yay! You are awake after all! I really want you to come and help me. Actually, I'm already on the way to your house.
What? You're coming to my house? Why are you coming to my house this late in the night?
Avery has a really bad fever right now and her head is burning hot. I don't know what to do to make her feel better, and she can't even walk on her own anymore. I have to carry her right now, and I'm trying to find your house. But it's too dark out and I'm lost. We're at the park right now taking a break.
The park? What park are you at, though? Is there a sign somewhere with the name of the park on it?
I can't find any sign.
How many minutes has it been since you left your house?
It's been an hour now.
Oh my goodness. Well, it takes about an hour to walk all the way to my house, so you might be close to me. All right. I'm going to call the police right now.
Wait, you can't. Do not call the police.
Why not?
If Mom finds out about this, we'll be grounded forever.
You'll be grounded forever.
Please don't tell Mom about any of this. Please.
Are you sure? Where is your mom? Was she not at home with you guys?
I can't tell you.
Sherry, we can talk about your mom later on. For right now, I need to find out where you and your sister are at, okay? That's why I want to call the police and have them help me search for the two of you. That will be the most quickest way for me to find you two.
But, wait. I think I know what street your house is on.
Are you sure?
I think I know. I'm going to start carrying Avery again. We'll be at your house very soon.
Sherry, please slow down for a second. If you are lost and don't know where to go for certain, you should stay put. Are you seeing my text? Sherry? Your grandma's coming for you right now, so please do not move.
What? Greta? Why are you trying to get a hold of me at this time? Are you sleepwalking or something and that's why you called so many times?
I'm wide awake right now, actually.
Then are you just doing this to me to try and pick a fight? Greta, it's way too early in the morning for crap like this from you, all right? Everyone is asleep in my house, so we can save all this until tomorrow morning. I'm still half asleep right now and can barely even text you.
Well, I want you to become fully awake right now, because there is going to be a lot of texting going on.
Huh?
Both of your kids and I are at the hospital right now. So what did you mean when you said everyone in your house was asleep right now?
My kids are in the hospital? What are you even talking about?
I'm telling you that both Sherry and Avery are in the hospital with me right now. It seems as though you're not at your own home right now.
No, I sure am, Greta.
No, you're not. My husband went over to your house to go and see for me. He pushed the doorbell over and over again, and nobody ever came to the door. There wasn't even any movement within the house from any kids. Also, he told me that there were no cars in the driveway.
I have my car in the shop right now, so there wouldn't be any at the house. And I never heard the doorbell ringing at any point. I'm a heavy sleeper after all. Now tell me why you think my daughters would be at the hospital with you right now.
Avery had a very bad fever running, and Sherry had to carry Avery for over an hour, all the way to my house in the middle of the night. They both had to come over an hour to my house in the pitch black with nothing more than their pajamas on.
Why? Why didn't those two wake me up then if they wanted to go to your house?
Tia, you do not have to lie to me about being at your house anymore.
I'm not lying to you right now. I'm on my way to the hospital right now. Which one are they staying at?
Stop that. I don't want you anywhere near either of your daughters anymore. Sherry was very kind and told me about everything. She told me that normally, when my son is out of the house for business, you'll leave the place as well to go out. You'll leave your 6th grader in the house to babysit your 1st grader, and then sometimes not even come home until the following day.
I'm not doing anything like that. I told you that I've warned that girl many times not to go on her phone all the time. I think she's just lying to you about me now to make me seem like I'm evil or something.
Whether it's all the time or not very often, it is a fact that during all this, you were not at the house watching over them, right? We've already been to your house to check on things, so we no longer want any more of your lives.
Well, what's happened is I had an old friend of mine come into town after who knows how many years, and so I went out with them.
And is it normal for you to still be out of the house at this time of night when you have your 2 kids you need to watch? You have responsibilities.
Sherry is a 6th grader now, and she can handle herself. I trust her a lot, so I thought she could handle everything on her own.
This has nothing to do with you trusting her to care for things herself or not. I get that a 6th grader can stay home for a little bit by themselves and handle things. But you also have a 1st grader in your house as well, right? Also, I feel that you can only leave Sherry home for a couple of hours, especially when she has to watch another child. But leaving the 2 of them for the whole night to fend for themselves?
When I left the house earlier, Avery was doing just fine and didn't have a fever.
Then what happened that time Sherry tried calling you before she had to try coming to my house? Going into the night, Avery's condition seemed to worsen, and Sherry didn't know what to do. Sherry showed me that she both sent you some text and called you, but you never got back to her. That's why Sherry had to end up texting me for help, as she was on her way over with Avery. My son's not even in town right now, so there was no way to ask him for help. Did you tell Sherry to never tell her father about how you've been leaving the house all the time when he's gone?
I had no choice this time. I was a little stuck on what to do myself, but I haven't seen this friend of mine in so many years, and I really wanted to see them.
But you knew that by leaving the house for the night, you'd be doing something horrible to your kids, right? That's why you told Sherry to not tell him anything, right?
Clayton happens to really want to make sure both the kids are looked over at all times. That's why I didn't want him knowing anything.
Well then, if you didn't want to cause any trouble, why did you not come home earlier in the night after seeing your friend for a few hours? Also, you could have easily asked myself or my husband to watch after Sherry and Avery while you're gone.
It all came up so fast, so I didn't think it'd be okay to ask you guys last minute.
It came up so fast, and that's why you should have been able to ask us for help. Also, that person you're with right now isn't some longtime friend of yours anyway, are they?
What's that supposed to mean?
I'm asking you whether or not that person is someone you're having an affair with right now or not. You were up to something that's really no good, and that's why you didn't want to ask my husband and I to look after the kids.
What the heck are you talking about right now? There is no way in hell I'd do that to Clayton. I love my husband a lot and would never.
Sherry seems to think otherwise. She knows about you being with another man. You often get picked up by him when he comes over to get you at your house, right? Well, Sherry has seen that happen quite often now. Also, she's been able to see you talking to another man on your phone. Sherry has known about this happening for a long time now, but has said nothing to Clayton because she doesn't want to hurt the family. She doesn't want to ruin the happiness that her dad and little sister still have. She knows exactly what you've been up to and what that'll mean for the family. You have been destroying the feelings of a sixth grader for the longest time now. Did you know that? Did you know that she has felt so much pain watching her own mother love another man?
You have it all wrong. I've just been picked up and dropped off by my friends. I am really not doing anything sexual with any of them.
Tia, I've had enough of this crap from you. Sherry has seen and read some of the messages you and your man send back and forth.
And I'm saying that those are all lies coming from her.
Don't you dare start calling her a liar because she knows about you cheating on Clayton. Sherry is a very smart little girl and knows what she's seen. There were even pictures at times on your phone. Pictures of a man's private parts. Anyway, to be sure that at some point in the future, if she ever needed them, she took some pictures of the messages you guys would send to one another. So there is evidence of all this.
Is that right?
Yes. So there is no use in trying to lie your way out of this, Tia.
I'm so sorry about that.
Oh, so you're finally going to confess to it all?
Greta, I'm so sorry. I just had a small urge that led me to doing something like that. So can you please refrain from telling Clayton anything about this? Please, please, please.
You're asking me to keep all this a secret from my son now as well?
Sherry has done a very good job not telling anyone so far. I don't want you wasting all the energy she's put into keeping this a secret for the sake of the family.
The only reason she kept all this a secret was because you told her not to say anything to your husband about it. Stop trying to make this all seem like something she's okay with letting go unseen.
I really promise that I'll never do anything like this again, okay? I'm really sorry for everything. My husband is on business trips a lot of the time, and so I've been very lonely. I've made sure that this other man doesn't develop any feelings for me, so you don't have to worry about a situation like that.
You are right saying that my son is gone a lot from work, and that it is hard on you. But you're not the only one that becomes lonely during those times. My son is also lonely, and so is Sherry and Avery. You cannot start blaming something like this on one person or the other, because what Clayton is doing is bringing in money for the sake of the family by being away all the time. I'm sure my son doesn't want to be gone all the time either. You and him can find some way to fix this issue between you two, but please do not get my granddaughters wrapped up in it.
I'm sorry. I promise to never do anything like what I've done again. Can you please just forgive me for this in some way? I will never leave my daughters at home anymore while I go out.
It's too late for that now, Tia. The reason I've had to reach out to you in the middle of the night like this is because you left your kids to fend for themselves while one of them has been sick. Sherry has told me she doesn't like you anymore and wants to tell her dad that you are a bad person and are not to be trusted.
What? Then what the heck is going to happen to me? Has my husband said anything about this? I do not want for us to get a divorce now.
Sherry was right to come to me about this. It's crazy that while your kids are in the hospital right now being treated, you still have not once asked anything about them or showed any worries. Even now, you're only caring about what'll happen to you, and only you. Well, he has every right to do what he's doing, and that's thinking about divorcing you. I want you to start getting prepared for that, please.
I don't want to, Greta, please. Can you find some way to help me get out of this? I'll do anything you ask me to, so find a way to tell my husband that this was all just a lie and that Sherry and I have been in a fight. Please, I'm asking you to please help me.
I'm sorry, but there's nothing else I can do for you. Also, you hurt your daughter's feelings by having that affair. To be honest, I don't want you taking care of my grandkids any longer. Not only did you cheat on my son, but you also wanted his daughters to lie to him about it. I will not allow you to watch over Sherry and Avery any longer. If I had to leave my grandkids in the hands of someone that thinks she can use them to run away from her affair, then I'd never be able to forgive myself. After that, my son was able to get a divorce from Tia, and in that divorce, he was given full custody of the kids. And after a lot of paperwork and such, he was able to get a settlement from both Tia and the man she had been sleeping with behind his back. Tia tried to go back to her parents' house after the divorce, but when they both heard about what had happened, they chose not to forgive her. She was immediately told to leave their house upon arrival, and so she was no longer allowed to be around them anymore. She then tried to go back to her secret man who she had been sleeping with for some time now, but even he would not let her come to his house anymore. And I can totally understand why. Because from what I've learned, she lied to him about ever having a husband at that moment, and told him she had a babysitter at her house at all times to watch her kids so that she could leave the house. He has to pay for having an affair with Tia like he'd been doing, but at least I know that he's nothing like Tia, thinking it was okay to lie about things that she had and leave 2 young kids home all alone. As of right now, Tia is working a low-level job full-time and is paying child support to Clayton for both the girls. She is doing so from a small apartment outside of town and is sharing it with some other people to try and save on rent. And Tia had made some plans to go out and see her younger daughter Avery for a little bit, but Avery's older sister was not willing to see Tia. Sherry told us that she no longer wanted to be around Tia anymore, and so we all had to respect her wants. Tia finally seemed to learn just how horrible of a thing she'd been doing to her husband and kids, and has been regretting it all a whole bunch. But when it comes to Sherry, I think it will take her a bit longer to process all that's happened between her parents. And as for Avery, I'm sure she'll begin to wonder why she's no longer living with her mother anymore. After some time has passed, I'm not sure how things will go for both my granddaughters, but the sins that Tia committed that left her family in ruins will not be forgotten by anyone. If she really wants to be like their mother again, then she needs to learn that she can never do anything like that again to them, and then maybe she'll be able to call them hers again someday. As for my son and his girls, they all have to come to live inside my house with my husband and I. Normally, when my son would have to go away for business, he'd leave the kids with Tia, who would then leave them at home alone. But now, my husband and I will be home to take care of them while he's gone, and we'll both make sure to spoil the heck out of them. Sherry is happy to finally not have to take care of both her sister and herself anymore with no adults at home. And Avery is happy to finally have some new faces in her house that she can play with at any time. Although everyone seems to be really happy with the way things have turned out, Sherry is still not ready to forgive Tia for what she's done. I really do think it'll be a very long time before she is able to process what Tia had done to her and all the trauma that has caused. I'm aware that the rest of the family really cannot do anything to help her get through all this internal struggle she's having. But in order to make the process easier for her, we'll do everything in our power to let her relax and have fun here. I'll work my hardest to ensure that both my granddaughters live in an environment where they can learn things properly without having to experience any more horrors like before. And with the help of my husband and son, we are going to make both their lives here the best any child could ever hope for.